My name is Groisser. I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to testify before you today. I'm aware that you have a thankless and challenging task to try to meet the needs of all concerned groups, teachers, children, and parents in the face of the novel coronavirus pandemic. But as an orthodontist who is in an occupation with one of the highest potential risks for contracting COVID, I'm here to tell you today that it can be done. My career is in dentistry, the specialty of orthodontics. I have 2 offices in Montgomery County. I'm also a clinical instructor of orthodontics at the University of Maryland School of Dentistry. My wife of 24 years is a science and theater teacher at MCPS. We both come from an extensive legacy of teachers. MCPS had such a great reputation that when we moved down here from New York in 2003, we were so happy to have our children enrolled. Our older two daughters went to Churchill. My youngest daughter was an 8th grader at Hoover Middle School last year. We made the painful decision to move her to private school for high school this fall because we believed that private school was more likely to be able to provide in-person schooling more rapidly than MCPS. I believe quite strongly that a primary reason that the children of Montgomery County are learning only virtually is because many of our teachers overestimate the risks they face in their return to in-person teaching. Nothing, of course, is 100% safe. That is the new reality. Even a vaccine will not provide that. All we can do is greatly mitigate and minimize the risk. My staff and I faced the same fears in March when the virus became a reality in our lives. Dental offices were shut down except for emergencies. The CDC and OSHA placed even more stringent requirements and guidelines on dental practices due to the potential dangers of aerosol generation by normal dental procedures. We worried that we might not ever reopen to serve our patients, but after 2 months, the Maryland and Montgomery County Departments of Health permitted it. Dentists took practical, appropriate measures, as MCPS has planned, to minimize risk. Please keep in mind that we work 2 feet or less from patients' mouths all day, 5 days per week, averaging 50 patients per day. We have masks and face shield or goggles, while our patients remove their masks so we can do our work. We have had no coronavirus transmission, no positive tests for staff or myself since we reopened. I'm very encouraged by the recent MCPS reopening plans presented this past Friday. The attention to detail and planning is evident. The mitigation measures you are planning to take are extremely encouraging. I was impressed by the extra staff you're planning to hire for the special education classrooms. Studies have shown that schools are safe with masks and distancing. In fact, teachers are at highest risk for contracting COVID from other teachers, especially in teacher lounges if they sit within 6 feet during eating. One recent peer-reviewed study published in the journal Pediatrics surveyed more than 57,000 childcare providers in the United States and found that they were no more likely to become infected with the coronavirus than other adults in the community. Teachers are essential workers. As I mentioned earlier, my own wife is an MCPS teacher, but yet we, and I'm sure all teachers, know how important it is for them to return to teaching in school. I know that her risk for contracting COVID is incredibly minimal with the precautions you have planned. Most of my patients are MCPS students, and they're depending on you to get them back to school. Thank you again.